Hi everyone. Today I am going to discuss about the plant cell wall. Generally, the cell walls are found in the plant cell, bacterial cell and fungal cell. It is absent in the animal cell. Let us see the structure of the plant cell wall. This is the outer, rigid, protective, supportive, semi-transparent covering of the plant cells. This was first observed by the scientist Robert Hooke in the cork cells. It is formed during the cell division and it is comparatively thin in young cells than the fully matured cells. It means that when this particular cell wall is formed, it is very thin, but as the cell get matures, there is the deposition of several other chemical compounds on this wall. As a result, it will get thick. Then coming to the functions. What are the functions of the plant cell wall? It gives shape to the cell, means it provides a definite shape to the plant cell wall. Plant cell. It provides the support and rigidity to the plant body. Then it protects the protoplasm from the external injury and it prevents the movement of water into the cell through the endosmosis to the point where the protoplast would simply burst open. It means that if a plant cell in the hypotonic solution, which is having the less solutes than the plant cell, with absorb the water into the cell by the endosmosis. As a result, by the increase of volume of the water in the cell, it will creates the pressure, making the protoplasm push against the cell wall. This type of hydrostatic pressure created due to the water movement into the cell, it is known as turgor pressure. Due to this type of turgor pressure, the animal cells without the cell wall, it shows the tendency to burst, but due to the presence of cell wall in the plant cell, it shows the rigidity and it creates the equal and opposite pressure on the direction of the plant cell wall and it prevents the cell from bursting. This equal and opposite pressure is created by the cell wall. As a result, the cell remains in the proper shape. Then coming to the next function, it acts as a physical barrier, means it protects the plant cells from pathogens like viruses, fungal spores or bacteria. It serves as a defensive mechanism. Then growth of the cell wall helps in cell expansion. It means that when there is the growth of the cell, there is the cell wall will get expand or the growth. As a result, there is the expansion of the cell takes place. Then cutin and suberin reduces the loss of water through transpiration. Here these are the two chemical compounds which are found in the cell wall. Those are the cutin and suberin. It reduces the rate of transpiration. Here transpiration means the loss of water in the form of vapors from the aerial parts of the plant body. So presence of this cell wall, it reduces the transpiration. Then coming to the chemical nature of cell wall, how the cell wall is made up of. The first chemical compound that is found in the cell wall is cellulose. Here it acts as a main constituent of the plant cell wall. It is up to 50% of the total plant material by weight. Here the cellulose is the polymer of D-glucose units. These are interlinked by the beta-1,4 glycosidic bonds. Then coming to the next compound, that is the hemicellulose. It includes monosaccharide units such as arabinose, xylose, mannose and galactose. Next one is pectin. It is the derivative of polygalacturonic acids. These compounds are plastic and it is highly hydrophilic and determine the cell wall porosity. Then lignins. It is about the 25% of the dry weight of a tree. It consists of aromatic alcohols known as hydroxyphenyl propane. It gives the strengthening and it resists the pathogenic attack. Then suberin, cutin and waxes. These all are the lipid derivatives. Here it gives the strengthening and It checks the evaporation of water in the form of transpiration. It reduces the transpiration rate. Then let us see how the cell wall looks like. This is the structure of the plant cell. Here the structure which is shown in the pink color, it is known as middle lamella. This middle lamella is the first formed layer in the plant cell. During the cell division after karyokinesis, when the cytokinesis takes place, when one single cell will get divided into the two daughter cells, at that time the middle lamella is formed. On the either side of the middle lamella, there is the formation of the primary cell wall. So as the cell get mature, or when there is it starts the differentiation, at that time there is one more layer which is formed inside the primary cell wall, which is known as secondary cell walls, which is here drawn by the brown color. It is further divided into various subtypes. Those are known as S1, S2 and S3. Let us see this particular diagram in one more picture. This is the organization of plant cell wall. This particular structure which is shown in the brown color, it is the middle lamella. Just I have explained. Here this is the first formed layer between the two adjacent cells at the time of cytokinesis. It is known as middle lamella. On the either side of the middle lamella, there is the formation of primary cell wall, which is shown in the pink color. Then after certain period of time, when the cell get matured, or when the growth will get retarded, at that time towards the inner side of the primary cell wall, there is the formation of secondary cell wall. This particular cell wall is further differentiated into various subtypes known as S1, S2 and S3. These are the structures of the secondary cell wall. Then in some cells like Trachary cells, apart from the secondary cell wall, there is the formation of one more cell wall towards the inner side of the secondary cell, which is shown here in the orange color. It is known as tertiary cell wall, and this is the last plasma membrane. Here these two adjacent cells are connected by the protoplasmic connections through the plasmodesmata, so that they exchange the materials between this particular two adjacent cells. The structure of the cell wall, we can broadly divide it into the four parts. Here the first one is middle lamella. This is the structure of the middle lamella, which is shown in the brown color. Then primary cell wall, which is formed on the either sides of the middle lamella. Then secondary cell wall, which is found on the inner side of the primary cell wall. Then tertiary cell wall. Then let us see the chemical composition of these membranes. First we'll go for the middle lamella. It is the thin, amorphous and cementing layer between the two adjacent cells. It is the first layer to be deposited at the time of cytokinesis. It is made up of the calcium and magnesium pectates. This is the first layer which is formed at the time of cytokinesis, and it is made up of calcium and magnesium pectate. Then coming to the next, that is the primary cell wall. It is thin, elastic and the first layer produced on the either sides of middle lamella. It grows by the intussusception. Here the term intussusception means addition of materials within the existing wall. Means already there is some particular layer is there, but upon that particular layer there is the further addition of the materials. That the growth by in this mode or in this way is known as intussusception. It consists of the intricate network of the microfibrils embedded in the matrix. Here microfibrils, it acts as a cytoskeleton to provide a proper shape to the plant cell. It is composed of cellulose, hemicellulose and pectic substances. Then coming to the secondary cell wall, some cells deposit additional layers on the inner surface of the primary cell wall. It occurs when the growth stops or when the cell begin to differentiate, means when the cell get matured or when it start differentiation. At that time, towards the inner side of the primary cell wall, there is the formation of the secondary cell wall. It is made up of cellulose, hemicellulose and polysaccharides. During the maturity, other substances like lignin, suberin, waxes, tannins are also get deposited. Here, the main important function of the secondary cell wall is it provides the high mechanical strength to the plant body. Then it shows the three layers. Secondary cell wall is further divided into the three layers known as S1, that is the outer, S2 middle, S3 that is the inner layer. Among these three, S2 that is the middle is the thickest one. Then tertiary cell wall. Here in the some cells like tracheate cells of the xylem, it consists or it produced inner to the secondary cell wall. It is composed of the xylons. Then the next topic is primary pit fields. Here the plant cells which are adjacent to each other are connected with each other and communicate with certain connections. Here the first one is primary pit fields. As we already discussed about the structure of primary cell wall, on that particular primary cell wall, it consists the beaded structures because of the conspicuous depressions. See here in this diagram, this is the structure of the tracheates, xylem tracheate. On this particular structure, we are seeing the small depression like structures. It is known as pit fields. Here, these depressions are known as primary pit fields. It consists the small openings or pores. This particular thin protoplasmic connections between the two adjacent cells through the primary pit fields. These protoplasmic connections are known as plasmodesmata. Between the two adjacent cells, there is the thin connection. It is known as, this particular connection is known as plasmodesmata. These primary pit fields are found in the primary cell wall. Then coming to the next structure, which is known as pits. Here it is found on the secondary cell wall. In the secondary cell wall, there is some depressions or cavities. Those are known as pits. It maintains the cytoplasmic connectivity. Here it facilitates this particular, each pit generally has a complementary pit exactly opposite to it in the wall of neighboring cell. It means that, for example, if it is a tracheate cell and there is one more another tracheate cell adjacent to it, so here there is the two pits generally opposite to the adjacent cells and there is the connectivity through this particular protoplasmic connections. So it provides the connectivity between the two adjacent cells through the protoplasmic connections. These two pits of the adjacent cell walls are known as pit pads because these are exactly opposite and these two are formed adjacent to each other. It is known as pit pair. And the membrane that is separating the two pits is known as pit membrane. And this particular pit membrane, it is made up of the primary cell wall and middle lamella. Then coming to the types. Here generally there are two types of pits are formed, simple pits and bordered pits. Here simple pits. Generally the simple pits is the uniform and the pit membrane is not swollen. This is the structure of the simple pit. Means here it is the pit membrane. It is made up of the primary cell wall and middle lamella, and this structure which is seen in the pink color, it is the secondary cell wall which is uniformly arranged. This is known as simple pit. Then coming to the bordered pit, here the secondary cell wall develops over the pit cavity to form an arching roof with a narrow pore in its center. Here see this structure. This is the pit membrane. Here pit membrane, This particular structure which is shown in the blue color, it is known as secondary cell wall. This secondary cell wall will get elaborated and it covers and form a roof like or the arching like structure over the pit membrane. Here it is known as bordered pit. Here, whereas seeing to the simple pit, this is the uniform structure of the secondary cell wall is seen. But coming to the bordered pit, here it forms the roof. Secondary cell wall provide a roof like structure over the pit membrane. And here at the middle there is at the middle of the pit membrane there is a thick structure known as torus. Then the part of the pit cavity that is enclosed by the secondary wall is called pit chamber. This is the pit membrane, and the cavity, here the cavity or the space which will be get enclosed by the secondary membrane by forming the arch or the roof like structure, it is known as pit chamber, and the opening is called pit aperture. This is the pit structure. If we observe this under the electron microscope, the structure will be like this. It is the pit aperture which is very thick at the middle, it is known as torus, and this is the pit membrane which is made up of the primary cell wall and middle lamella, and this bordered like structures which is forming the roof or enclosing this particular pit membrane, it is known as secondary cell wall. So here the main difference between the simple pit and bordered pit is, here in the simple pit there is the uniform arrangement of the secondary cell wall on the pit membrane, whereas in bordered pits it forms the overarching roof like structure over the pit membrane. So it is termed as the bordered pits. Thank you.